Hi everybody, this is a review video for third graders. We're doing chapter 8 this time, matching and non-matching question. Okay, so here we're supposed to find the information which is not correct in accordance with this passage right here. So, known for his devotion to each of his paintings, Protogenes was an ancient Greek painter. So there was this person named Protogene, and he was quite famous because he was so devoted person. He was very passionate about his painting, and he was famous for his passionate painting, and he was an ancient Greek painter and a rival of Apelles. So here Protogene was the rival of Apelles, and he was born in Canos on the coast of Korea. So Protogene was born in this Canos area and lived most of his life in Rhodes. He lived most of his life in the Rhodes, and little else is known of him. So there is not much information about Protogene, but there are some account of his paintings. So account is explanation or stories. There are some stories about his paintings. The Larlissus and the Satire were the most well known among his works. So this painting, Larlissus and Satire, were the most well known painting among his Protogene's work. And Protogene spent approximately 7 years painting the Larlissus. So this painting was done after the 7 years of work, and a depiction of a local hero of a town in Rhodes. Maybe the Larlissus is the name of a hero, local hero of this town. And he drew this painting for 7 years. After remaining in Rhodes for at least 200 years, it was carried off to Rome. So this drawing, Elias, it stayed in Rhodes for more than 200 years, at least 200 years, and the painting was moved to the Rome. And there later it was destroyed by fire. Oh, unfortunately, there was a fire, and the fire destroyed the painting. The Protogene worked on the satire during Demetrius Polycertes' attack on Rhodes from 305 to 304 BC. So Protogene painted his painting from 305 to 304. Interestingly, the garden in which he painted the satire was in the middle of enemy's camp. So the Protogene drew his painting in the garden, and the garden was in the middle of the enemy camp. And Protogene is said to have been about 70 years of age when satire was complete. So he was 70 years old when he completed his painting, the satire. So we're looking for non-correct information here. He drew it in the garden, and garden was in the middle of the enemy camp. So I guess number 4 is not correct answer. And here, Noma safari camp, and we're supposed to find the non-correct information about the Noma safari camp. So Noma safari camp is a tented camp in the remote northeast of Namibia, a ancestral land of the Ch.8 Bushmen, offering an intensive and authentic Bushman experience. So this safari camp, Noma safari camp, is a tent camp and located in Namibia, and you can see the ancestral life about Bushmen. So the accommodation is comfortable and consists of 10 safari tents. So it's very comfortable place, and it has 10 safari tents with bathrooms and hot water showers. It has all the showers. And in the morning, guests go hunting with the tribal hunters. So the morning time, you can go to hunting with your Bushman tribal hunters, looking for spring air and porcupine of the foraging for belt food if there are no attacks. So you are looking for a kind of rabbit. When you go to hunting, you can have a rabbit. Or you can find a porcupine. Porcupine is an animal, cute looking animal with 4 legs and long tails, and you have a lot of needles on your back. Cute animal with a lot of needles. So this is a porcupine. Okay, so you can hunt a rabbit and porcupine, and while these rabbit and porcupine are foraging, they are looking for their food. They're looking for foraging the veld food, looking for food, and there are no tracks. So there is no track in this place, and you can hunt the rabbit and porcupine. And they will even learn how to make arrow poison and traditional hunting equipment. So the bushmen, they when they go to hunting, they are using the arrow, not just the arrow. You're using arrow with a poison. So you will learn how to make arrow poison, and you will learn how to make some traditional hunting equipment. Afternoons can be spent watching the Juhones make their traditional craft. So during the afternoon, you can watch bushmen making their own craft, their own items, and bowls and other tools and stuff, such as ostrich eggshell jewelry. So these bushmen, they make ostrich eggshell jewelry. So using the ostrich egg, they are making a jewelry. Or playing traditional games. You can watch bushmen playing traditional games during the afternoon time. So in the evening, there are elephant or giraffe dances. So you can also watching bushmen doing elephant dances or giraffe dances, which have been performed by healers to cure the sick. So the reason why the dances are performed is they want to cure, they want to heal the sick people. So it's performed by the healer. The dance is performed by healers and relieve tension within the community for thousands of years. So they danced a elephant dance and giraffe dance in order to relieve tension within the community. And the local community benefits economically from sharing their activities with the guest. So this Bushman community, they also get some benefit by sharing their activity with the guest, and the camp provide them with the medicine and transport to a clinic 90 kilometers away. So this camp, Noma Safari Camp, they are providing the medicine and transportation to Bushman Pride. So here we're looking for information which is correct one. Here it says that the camp provide medicine and the transportation, which is correct. Moving on to question number 2. Here we're looking for information which is the correct one about America Read. So America Read is a national service program that was established after the result of a number of research studies revealed the American student who cannot read well by the 4th grade have higher dropout rates and more difficulty achieving success in their lives. So America Reads is a service program, national service program. And this national service program initiated after the research studies. So this research study, it shows that American student who cannot read well by the 4th grade of elementary school, they have a higher dropout rate. So if you can read well, more students are likely to drop out of school because they can't read, and more difficulty. So therefore, since they didn't go to proper school, they will have a more difficulty achieving success in their lives. So they begin national program of America Read. The goal of America Read is to make certain that every child in the United States can read well by the end of the 3rd grade. So the goal of this activity is make every child read well by the end of the 3rd grade. And America Read trains volunteers as reading tutors. So they train volunteers as a tutor. And volunteers can be parents, teachers, students, senior citizens, and other professionals. So anyone can be a volunteers. These volunteers help individual children and families, support classroom activities, and organize community reading initiatives. So these volunteers can begin all sorts of different activities, such as like helping out individual children and individual families. They can support classroom activities, and they can organize community reading program initiatives. Is similar to program. And America Read tutors can be involved in a classroom after-school program. Also, these tutors can be involved in the classroom or after-school program. Head Start program, early childhood program, and reading with children at home. So Head Start program is another one, and it's helping out the early childhood, and they are helping children at home. In addition, America Read support non-direct service program that support and benefit literary activities. So they also support some other program in like literacy activities, including book drives, coordinating parental involvement project, and fixing up school library. So they also support some non-direct services, which means that not directly related to the reading, but you're supporting these reading activities anyhow by including the book drives, or you're coordinating parental involvement project, or you're fixing up the school libraries. So here we're looking for the information, which is the correct one. Here is number 3. So they have volunteers as a tutors. Right? And moving on. Here we're looking for the information, which is correct one, about San Antonio YMCA gymnastics program. Okay? So here it says that the class begins last Monday and Thursday. So here the San Antonio YMCA gymnastic program is an instructional program offered year-round. Classes start the first Monday and Thursday of each month. So the class begin all first Monday and first Thursday of each month. Okay? So the program engages children in a wide variety of activities designed to promote physical growth. So the program helps children to physically grow. Okay? And here, if you look at in the center, private lesson, which is a private lesson, and appointment only. Okay, this is an appointment only program. Okay, so this one is correct information. Okay? Rest of it is not correct. And moving on to number 4. So there is information about school canteen mural design competition. I'm looking for information which is correct one. Okay. So the design a mural all side of school canteen. This competition is open to all the Westwood High School students and faculty members. So student and faculty members can participate. Incorporate spaces for blackboard and notice blackboard board on the south and east walls. So you can use blackboard or you can use notice board, and blackboards do not have to be square or rectangular in shape. So your blackboard, it doesn't have to be square, it doesn't have to be a rectangular in shape. You can use different shapes if you want. And $100 gift for the winner and $30 gift for 2 other finalists. Okay? So you can pick up your mural design sheets from school office, and the deadline to submit the design is Friday, September 17th, 2021. One submission per person is allowed. You can only submit one work. And the mural competition winner will have their design recreated on the walls of the canteen by local spray artist Jackson. So your painting, your design will be painted on the wall by Jackson. So here we're looking for number 2, correct information. Right? Your board can be various shapes, right? Therefore, number 2 is correct. And let's go to the next question. Again, another, we're looking for information which is correct one. Okay. So save big with a museum membership. So this is about a museum membership. So choose a Providence Children's Museum membership that suits your family and enjoy unlimited admission and all the privileges of membership for the entire year. The family membership is $125, a year of unlimited admission for up to 4 people at Providence Children's Museum, and $50 off birthday parties. You have a discount of $50 off, and you have a 10% of museum merchandise. You have a 10% discount. And invitations to exhibit openings and special event and member exclusive program. There is special member program. You are invited to program if you have a family membership. And you have family plus membership, which is $175, year of unlimited admission for up to 6 people. You have unlimited admission and include all the great benefit of family member plus discounted addition to nearly 200 children's museums nationwide. You have discount for 200 children's museum nationwide. So if you have questions about membership, contact us member@provokemuseum.org. Okay? So here we're looking for the information which is correct one. So here, if you have a family membership, you can be invited into a family membership only special event. So here, member exclusive program, you are invited to this special program. So number 2 is correct. And moving on, here we are looking for information which is not true about the funnel. Okay? So funnel, a member of carrot family, was cultivated in Europe. So funnel is a member of a carrot and it's cultivated in Europe throughout ancient times and the Middle Ages. During the Middle Ages and ancient time, the funnel was cultivated. The funnel, whose stalk and seed were eaten by the Greeks and Romans, was the original wild form native to southern Europe. So this funnel is originated in southern Europe, and the Greeks and Romans, they used to eat the seed of the funnel, and also they used to eat the stalk of funnel. Okay? So we have this is a funnel, okay? And Romans and Greeks, they eat the stalk. Stalk is this part. They eat the stalk and the seed. Romans and Greeks, and is known as the bitter funnel. So maybe I guess the stalk and the seed of the carrot tasted really bitter, so it was known as the bitter funnel. Its seeds were used in the seasoning mixtures. So when people make a mixture, seasoning mixture, they use the funnel, and its stalks in stew and pickles. So using stalks, they made the stew and the pickles. So as early as 19th century AD, a distinction was made between bitter and sweet funnel. So 19th century, 9th century, people made a distinction between bitter and sweet funnel, with the latter being the one specially favored in the medieval cookery. So of course, people prefer the sweet one, the latter one, when they make a cookery during the medieval Europe years. And the stock was frequently added to vegetable and meat dishes. So when you make a meat dishes and when you make a vegetable dishes, they added stock to these dishes, and the seed dried and sugar coated and eaten as a breath freshener. And also they made the seed dry and they coated with the sugar and they used it as a breath freshener in order to eliminate bad smell, bad breath at the end of the meal. So physicians classified funnel as dry and warm and described it as good for ears, good for eyes. So physicians, they categorized the funnel as a dry and warm food, and they described it. The funnel is beneficiary for your eyes and for the movement of your bladder and bowel. So also it helps to the movement of your bladder and your bowel. And for the flow of milk. Also it helps of the flow of milk for moms. And it was recommended for cold and digestive problem. Also when you have a cold and you have a digestive problem, the funnel, dried funnel is recommended. So we're looking for information which is not correct. Here, number 5, doctors categorize it as a warm and dry. Okay. And moving on. So we're looking for the information which is not correct one about the Warner Bischoff. Okay? So Warner Bischoff is regarded as one of the foremost international photojournalists of the post-war era. So Warner is a photojournalist and he was famous in post-war. Post-war means after war era. So in 1942, he joined the editorial staff of Swiss magazine Du. So he became the editorial staff in the Swiss magazine, working primarily as a fashion photographer. He was into a fashion industry. And in 1945, traveled all over Europe to document the destruction left by war. So Warner was traveling all around Europe and documenting the destruction of World War II. He joined the Magnum Group in 1949, although the change to photojournalism forced Bischoff to alter his work method. So I guess in this time, 1949, the photograph journalist style was changing. There was a lot of changing in the trend, so the changing forced Bischoff to change his own style. So he changed his style, but he nonetheless retained his sensitivity for technical perfection. So he pursued the technical perfection and he didn't change his technical perfection. Okay? He retained it. He retained the sensitivity for technical perfection. And in 1951, he received an assignment from American Life magazine to travel to a hunter-stricken area of Bihar and to a north and central India. So American company Life magazine gave an assignment to Warner to travel to a Bihar and travel to India. So the resulting photography essay, Famine in India, brought Bischoff his first international success. So I guess he went to this Bihar and Indian area and made his photographic essay, and he won an international success with his work. So in later years, Bischoff traveled to places such as Japan, Hong Kong, Indochina, and Korea, where he was fascinated by children who, despite poverty and war, demonstrate remarkable resilience. So later on, he also traveled to Japan, Hong Kong, China, and Korea, and he was attracted by children. And children were showing a lot of resilience, a lot of recovery. Even though the country was really destructed by the war, the children in those country showed a lot of recovery, so he was attracted by these children. So one of the Bishop's best-known children photographs is boy playing the flute near Chuco, Peru. So his famous painting photograph was boy, about a boy in Peru playing flute. And Bischoff made the photograph only a few days before his fatal accident in Peruvian Andes. So I guess he had a really serious accident in Peru. Right? So we're looking for non-matching information, which is number 3 here. He went to BR and made a photographic essays in this area. Right? Essays from BR. So number 3 is the correct answer. Okay, so we'll continue our video in next one. Okay, thank you. Bye.